All right. So did you see the question? Because I took your screen away. Now you can see me right. Did you see which question it is that we're looking at? And nitric acid. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So check it out. Let's take a look at what's going on. All right. So it gives us a reaction between nitric acid and calcium hydroxide. All right. So right away I can predict those products so that I can do some further studies on it. All right. So I know that this is neutralization, so it's definitely going to make water. And after the ion swap, it's going to create calcium nitrate, which is going to be the salt. All right. In order to balance, I need there to be two nitrates on each side. And now I have 4 hydrogens over here, so I want there to be 4 hydrogens right there, and it will be balanced. The information that it gives me first describes the nitric acid. So it lets me know that the nitric acid right here exists at 35 milliliters, and that is at 0.05 molar. All right. And then for the calcium hydroxide, it just tells me that we are sitting at 0.02 molar of this guy here. And we're trying to figure out what volume. All right. So how many milliliters is what the question wants to know. All right. So I know that in any of these titration problems that well, it does. It absolutely does. The only reason that I have it written like this is so it perfectly reflects the problem, because it gives you milliliters, and if you look at your answer choices, it's asking for milliliters. Now, you're right. In order to continue, we have to do liters, but I'm trying not to do any conversions in my head so that we can see every step. So anyhow, step number 1 is I need to go to moles of given in a titration, all right? So here's the item that I have all my given info on. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply these together because I know that molarity times liters equals moles, right? All right, so let's take the molarity of 0.050, multiply that by liters, which is going to be 0.03500. And if I run that in the calculator, it comes out to 0.00175. And that is moles of nitric acid. My second step is to go from moles to moles of unknown in a titration. So then I need to take my 0.00175 moles of nitric acid and convert that across the top to moles of what we're asking for, the calcium hydroxide. All right, I'm going to make this. Yes, yeah, we're going to make the diagonals match. And anytime moles is over moles, I know that the balanced equation matters. So it turns out that it's a 2 down here and a 1 up there if you look at the coefficients of each of these items. All right, so I'll run this grid times 1 divided by 2, and we're going to end up with 0.000875. And that's going to be moles of the calcium hydroxide. And then my final step 3 is I can go from moles of unknown to anything. All right. And this problem, we know that we want volume, right? So if I'm going to use my molarity equation, all right, which, of course, is molarity equals moles over liters, all right, and I'm going to use this to ultimately find liters right here. The molarity that we're given up here in the problem for my unknown is 0.02. So let's go ahead and go 0.02 molar equals moles, which I found right here, 0.000875 over basically X, because that will give me the missing volume, right? All right, so if we go ahead and we solve for X there, you're going to get 0.0438 liters. No, so then we have to do our algebra, right? And solve for X. So if I put that whole number over 1, it ultimately turns into 0.0200x equals 0.000875. All right, divide by 0.02 on both sides, and that'll give you X. Or you could just memorize that liters equals moles over molarity. All right, there's an equation that's not given to you, but it's always true. Because look, that's what I did, right? Moles divided by molarity equals, well, liters. So, I mean, however you want to look at it. So yeah, so this is just algebraic, and this is the manipulation of the molarity equation. I'm about to head out, but there's one more question that you missed, and the good news is that there's a selected solutions for it. So this, make yourself a note, if I can get my thing back up. You missed the question that talks about 35 milliliters of HCl. So just make a note, 35 milliliters of HCl. And if you just take that blurb to selected solutions, you can get a full video of how to do it.